Okay. What are the signs that guys want to change the dynamic of a friendship?
So he's friends with you and he wants it to turn romantic?
Yeah.
Well, first, I would say that he probably always wanted to.
Okay.
9 times out of 10. A lot of male and female friendships, the guy took an interest in her, but she put him in the friend zone. She kept it platonic.
But what if he kept it platonic?
Okay. Well, if he asked to hang out with you one-on-one in an environment where something intimate could happen. So like, for example, like if you're already friends, so like, it's not, he already knows you. So if he's like, oh, actually, nah, maybe something could happen here. It could definitely be more, maybe he goes, yo, what you up to Thursday night? Like, why don't you come by and let's hang out? And if that's something you don't usually do, you'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Because it's just one-on-one time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So anything about him trying to see you more and be in an environment where it's just you two, where potentially something could happen?
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? What do you think?
I mean, I suppose it makes sense in when you want to see each other more.
Yeah.
Like I can understand that.
I guess that I should ask you, how would a guy know whether a girl is wanting to change the dynamic?
I feel it's very similar in the ways that you probably knew it all along.
Okay.
But sometimes women, like when they want to keep a friendship, sometimes they like to be in denial about it because they want to keep that friendship longer.
In denial about her feelings towards him or his to hers?
Yeah.
About her feelings towards him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But then as well, maybe women have always had that feeling towards a certain guy as well. Because I have.
Okay.
And when you're set on a person being that person that you need them to be, you stick to it. And it's very hard for women to change that way of thinking when they come to that realization
about this friend.
Yes.
So let's say you've got a girl who's friends with a guy who she kind of has stronger feelings for. Would she be open? Let's say nothing romantic was happening there, like it was just friends, but she knows that she has this feeling for. Would she be open if another guy took an interest in her? Or would she not be open to that? Because her feelings are like elsewhere.
Shall I relate that to me or generally?
Sure, yeah. Tell what I say for you.
Say that question again.
So if your feelings you have stronger feelings for a male friend, but nothing's going on in that sense. If another guy took an interest in you, let's say another guy that maybe on initial you're like, oh yeah, like he seems pretty cool. Would you be open to that? Or would you be like, because my feelings are here, I'm actually not open to anything else?
I think what's important is to actually have that conversation with that person that you find attraction to, but it's also your friend, and to make it clear that nothing's gonna happen before you move on to someone else that you also find attracted to. So
you would tell the male friend that you have feelings for, that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, and just make it clear, like make it absolutely clear that nothing's gonna happen between us.
But why would you need to disclose that though?
I feel like it's because women like to have the idea that there's a possibility that even though there isn't, like they like to glamorize it,
right?
And be in that delulu kind of like yeah. So I think it's really important for women to have that communication. I'm someone who values communication a lot anyways. So for me personally, that's why it's a preference to talk it out. Yeah. So
have you done that with the male friend you're referring to or previous male friend?
Yes.
And how did that conversation go?
Very mutually. Yeah.
In what sense? What was mutual?
So we made our barriers clear. And even though we have a curiosity for certain things, we've both made it clear that
it's not going to happen
at this point. as well. The future is open.
Yeah.
But at this point, this is where we're at.
That's so interesting because so you both have feelings for each other to some degree. You both have semi-romantic curiosity about each other.
I don't.
Fair to say. How would you describe it?
Sorry. we
She has no idea.
No, I do.
No
I
idea.
do. Okay, so basically, we spoke about whether we'd have a. Sorry, I'm just. It's in my mind.
I hope he watches.
Okay, let me just recollect myself. So we discussed whether we'd ever thought about having sex with each other.
Yeah.
Like in a friendship way.
There is no friendship way. We thought about having sex with each other as friends. As friends.
Yeah. And then what's it called? We both came to a decision that it wasn't gonna work out because our friendship would forever change.
Very true.
Yeah.
Oh, so you both had a curiosity about each other.
Yes, sexually.
Yeah. But you both, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not into each other enough for it to turn into a relationship. And so just quenching the curiosity isn't worth jeopardizing the friendship.
100%, yeah.
We
have a very strong friendship relationship. But that curiosity stood there because, number one, when guys talk to their other guys about where they're going, so he's disclosed it with his friend. Yeah. One of the first things that he said to me was that, are you fucking this girl? Like, why are you staying over here at hers if you're friends? And he said, no, we're actually just friends.
I get that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that means, so I guess emotionally you'd be open to someone else already, like even before you had that conversation, because you weren't really looking at him long term, were you? Or were you?
I never thought about that. No.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Okay. Do you think if you started dating someone, do you think he would get jealous?
I've thought about this actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there'd be maybe a part of me that's like, oh, like, I don't know if I could physically like see you. Yeah. Let me rephrase that. If you have a girlfriend, I would see you less, and you can't stay at mine.
Yeah, of course. When
we go out and do whatever.
Yeah.
And the best times is normally when you sit down and have that conversation.
It's really mature. It's good you can have that
in the dark, and you're just like talking about life, laughing, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of our strong suits. Yeah. In our friendship. And so you can't have that kind of like friendship intimacy.
Yeah, because it's like there's an element of that friendship when you're both single where you can play with the edge of it being something more in terms of like the physical side. But then if you start seeing someone else, then getting to that edge just seems like mad inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Interesting. All right, let me ask you something. Do you think it's harder to find commitment today?
I think that a lot of people are weak-minded nowadays.
Say more. What do you mean?
Just because I feel like, especially with COVID that come around, generally, I feel like the population just lacks resilience and discipline now. And especially because they've gotten to that, was it 3 years now of COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 years of most people being lazy. You've gotten yourself into very bad habits physically, and now mentally. Yes. You don't have that strength. Yeah. And so that's why I think that commitment is harder.
So do you think the same issues face men and women? Because you kind of feel as a general, men and women have gotten lazier in regards to going out and getting a relationship or dating or improving them themselves, like.
So you're asking if relationships now is,
as in, like, you know, here, like, people have gotten lazier. Do you think that's the reason why men and women who maybe want a relationship aren't getting the relationship that they want?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a very big factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if, like I said, if you're not staying true to the self-commitment you made to yourself, how can you do it for someone else?
That is a very, very good point.
Yeah.
What do you think is an unreasonable standard men have for women nowadays?
Is for women to become the breadwinners.
You think men expect that?
I think a lot of men now expect that. Just from the friendships and the conversations I've had. I'm not saying that's everyone majority of the population in the UK or something.
Yeah.
But the experiences I've had and the conversations I've had, I'd say, yeah.
Do you think that's an unreasonable expectation since women are, doing really well in their careers and stuff nowadays?
I would say if you had no intentions of progressing yourself, or if you plan to just support her alone, and to let her do her thing whilst you're not growing yourself, I think it would be unreasonable. I think people should grow independently and come together.
I agree, but what if a guy's like, okay, well, any woman that I'm going to choose, she has to be on my level at least. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do
you think, because I guess that's kind of the same. He's saying that she has to bring the bread as well as me. Do you know what I mean?
You'd have to ask that.
So you're like men are kind of expecting women to be the breadwinners. And I'm saying, what if a guy is a breadwinner, but he's saying she also has to bring the bread, right? So she has to be bringing the same that he is. Is that a reasonable expectation, or do you think that's unreasonable?
I feel like, you know what, I don't know. Because it's down to preference. Because some guys like to protect that woman that they find that's right for them. And they don't mind women like maybe being of that type, like a lower standard.
Yeah. On a lower economic status than him. Yeah, 100%. So I think most men are like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Given it's the right person, yeah. But obviously if you're not self-aware about it, then you'll find an insecurity if a woman is equal or higher to you.
Yeah.
So
I think women care more if a guy's not higher than her.
Yeah.
I think men don't actually care if she is, but I think what often happens is that when a woman feels that she is higher than a man in those metrics, I think she doesn't respect him the way he needs to be respected for a relationship to work.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because respect is love to a man. And obviously this isn't an excuse, but this is a big reason why it's more common where the woman is a higher level than a man for domestic abuse to happen. Because whether she realizes it or not, she has less respect for him than a man who'd be on her level or above, right? And because he feels that in how she'll speak to him, maybe certain things, instead of trying to get respect through love, he then tries to get respect through fear, and he does that by abusing her.
Yeah.
So he makes her scared of him because it's like, well, if you're going to respect me through love, I'm going to make you fucking terrified of me, so you have to respect me for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's weird because that ultimately comes down to can a woman respect a man who she feels that she's ultimately higher than? I guess I should ask you, what do you think?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.